think we might take the brief whilst we're here.
So you want the brief now?
I'll take it now whilst they're all faffing about.
Okay. So, simply put, behind me is all the intel we captured last week in our little convoy operation. It's all from the compound at 113142. We thoroughly scrubbed that area trying to find more evidence, but the laptop was a dud. Unfortunately, the radio was scrubbed clean and there was nothing really useful in the folders. However, we caught a lucky break by one of the off-road technicals still alive. I've got 2 pictures of it over here. Everyone was killed off of it, but the GPS transponder on it, you know, devices like OnStar and shit, was still on it for some reason. And it actually logged a few of the locations over the past 3 months. And it decided, well, our AAF guy was able to crack it. So, if you want to come over here, we have basically put all of those locations on a map. And that is linked to yours. And that's basically your objective. A couple special notes. Number 1, there's 2 specific stop points on the map, but we have had AAF patrols go through these areas in the past over the 3-month period, so we've marked them as area waypoints instead, where we don't know specifically if there may be more in those 2 areas. Furthermore, 2 of those caches are deep within the areas around Oreo Castro. The issue with this is those are no-fly zones because patrol helicopters in the past flying in there have been shot down. So we have set up a base in Sirta, which is within the red zone, that for NATO we flew an APC in there and supply cache, basically one of the same boxes that you have at base for resupply. So it is up to you whether you want to use them, or you could fly straight in, but you risk getting shot down. Right. So, mission simple, check the 6 points, act upon any intel you find, then RTB.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
How am I supposed to reach you near AAF?
Get on 50.
Yeah, 50 is the net between AAF
50
and NATO and myself.
NATO, me, and Liru. So, make sure your squads aren't on 50.
Is Sol APC up there?
Marshall.
Ceuta? No, is it a Sol, as in like a single or more than one?
There's a single NATO Marshall and a single AAF Gorgon. And there's some AAF transport Vics in the form of trucks.
That's what I want to know, because I didn't think we were all going to fit into one Marshall.
Yep.
So, what are we doing?
I'll give you the brief. He was here first. I asked him if he wanted to wait or get the brief, so I'll do the brief again.
Lovely.
So, real simple. This is all the intel we captured last week in the compound at 113142. Unfortunately, laptop was scrubbed. The footnote here didn't have much, and, well, all this proves is they knew our route, so we have a mole somewhere, but we're working on that. However, we caught a lucky break, and one of the off-roads at that compound that was made into a technical, people shot the guys out but didn't destroy it, and one of the engineers went through it. Don't know what the fuck that was. But it still had its GPS transponder, and it had been logging the past 3 months of coordinates, which brings us to our objective today. It stopped and waited at 6 different points that we consider suspicious. And those points are all marked on all of your maps and also that big map over there. Now, special notes about some of these points. First off, 2 of those points are deep in FIA territory in the northwest. That territory has been known to have AA teams in it and shoot down helicopters. So, for the AAF and NATO at the position in Sirta, we have dropped a NATO Marshal and an AAF Gorgon in that base, as well as some transport trucks were brought up, and there's also a resupply box similar at both your spawn points, the same one for NATO and the AAF in one of the small little cargo houses for resupply purposes. So it's up to you whether or not you want to use those vehicles there. You could always have people drive up more Vics, or you could just fly in and risk getting shot down. Entirely up to you. We don't know where the AA teams are because guerrilla warfare. Furthermore, there's 2 positions that have an area around them instead of a specific possible cache point. This is because the nature of the stops were questionable. For example, the one on this left image right here was only for about 10 minutes but it keeps happening multiple times over the 3-month period. And then this one was at this church location, but a month ago an AAF patrol went over that location, so we think there's something else around that area specifically. So regardless, today's mission is simple. Both NATO and the AAF will be reconning these 6 points. It's most likely going to have contact based off of what the GPS gave, but we don't know for sure. You're fighting FIA, they're guerrilla warfare. Any questions?
Where was the position of the vehicles that were at which camps?
So, yeah, it's at the Sirta objective within the FIA sphere. Out of character, guys, this mission, the reason NATO and AAF, I also briefed the NATO guy first because he was here first, is there will be missions where AAF and NATO can choose to share intel or keep it secret to one another. That has a lasting effect on the campaign. So if AAF finds something that they don't want to tell NATO, AAF will get more support or, you know, start getting wary about things, and NATO vice versa. Or you share it and then other stuff happens.
Echo back on that.
Now, right now, that you have no idea what that means, but later in today's mission, you might find out what that means. So, yeah. Cheers.
Alright.
Good.
Cool. Since I have all my squad leaders here, hopefully, none of you be on 50, please. Just stay on 50.5.
Yep.
Just to make it easier.
That was my plan to begin with, because I do not want to manage...
Why vanilla? Because it's the easiest to get a full server on vanilla.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a proper
Let me
brief of
jump
what
out
we're
real
gonna
quick.
be doing once
It's
I
not
talk
even
to
full
NATO.
vanilla,
Oh,
it's
NATO.
a bunch of other stuff. And Nemesis just gave me a multi-twitch link.
Hola,
Nice.
¿cómo estás?
Frisk, I want that LZ.
Yeah, good.
Which one? Backwards.
Mel.
LZ lonely.
The plebs.
Yeah.
So let me add that to the
but depends on
title.
what order that Mal wants to take.
Alright,
I'd like to
do you want
take
to
my
split up 50-50
Yeah.
so we have...
I'm good
to
with whatever y'all
Check
agree
on
to
that
do.
stuff.
I kind of want to go make sure my guys are all good.
Alright, cool. So Nemesis is streaming the on-the-ground POV.
Well,
Also, guys, if you find anyone
My
else
opinion,
streaming,
NATO has better
let
equipment
me
to deal with the
know,
shit
and I will
West,
quickly add that to the
so
multi-twitch,
I
but...
don't
Yeah,
think
I was
harder
gonna
fight
say-
there.
Yeah.
You guys take
Got some
the
AAF
far
dudes, because this is AAF camp in between the NATO and
We can
AAF
take the
bases.
southwest and the east.
If you...
Oh, shit. Quick break. One final note I want to give. I said this earlier, and it's in the channel, but just a reminder. For NATO, your Chinooks, a logistics ammo Hemet that's outside of logistics point by itself by the transport trucks, and the Badger, which is the APC that also works as a logistic vehicle, all have a copy of the inventory of the ammo box within it for resupply. AAF, yours are the Mohawks, a Recon Nix, and an ammo... I forget what your transport trucks are called, but it's away from the logistics. It's Zamek, that's it. That's all filled with resupply, basically, so pilots don't have to, you know, pile stuff in, or you guys can do it, you know. It's just there if you want it. So, yeah, have fun.
Alright.
Continue.
Yeah.
So,
you
to put
guys
in
wanna
English,
take western, we'll take the easternmost.
the cargo of this
But, you want
is
those
filled with all this gear for resupply,
5-0 check.
and that same
I'd
gear
like to take
inventory
Good,
is in
back
these
up
two
5-0.
Vics and that Vic.
I want to go to LZ shop. I think.
And then for the AAF, this Vic has it, that Vic has it.
Zones, is that what we're doing, or are we supposed to go
that
to the
works.
potential cache?
Potential cache, the red zone just mean enemy activity. There's nothing we need to really do in there except for the caches.
Marked that isn't marked as a potential. Like, there's a potential cache at.
Are you
the
gonna go
surf club.
first?
Like, there's nothing else marked there, so.
Chances
That's why
are
I'm
to
asking.
stay
Wait,
within
so where?
range and just to get footing, we'll go to the
south of Chalk, yeah.
southwest
Mark
one,
it in global. I'll circle it.
and then we'll
Southeast
go
because
to
that's
the
the
other
exact
side.
location.
Just
That's
so
an exact location like the one in Korani, because that, if you scroll down, that one's marking the surf club. It covers it with the other text, but it's the
Yep,
surf club there.
Yep. That's why I was double
I'm
checking.
gonna be honest
Yep.
here with you, Marlon. I
Alright,
strongly
then.
suspect there to be something
I'll go to the surf club. Fuck
at
it.
the stop point near the church.
What
Yeah.
about the?
So they're
ISO
mapping out
Central
everything
South
here.
of NATO
Strongly
South?
suspect that
I'll wait
it's
till they leave, and I'll let you guys know how all these are gonna
Yeah.
play out.
Holy
Like,
wow,
Yeah,
Chris.
What?
I don't want no suspicious double crossing.
No good now.
Alright, well, do you want to deal with one of them then? Oh,
You
well,
want us to deal with those sectors?
yeah. Listen, we have it done. Alright, let's just do our things, okay?
Cool. I will, if they go to Sirtai,
And if
we'll
you
throw
get
a
really
counterattack
fucked, you
there.
can always call for us, okay?
We'll just call for the artillery.
I'm gonna.
But NATO's bringing the 155 today, so this is gonna be pretty fucking lethal, because that's pinpoint. However, with the entire AO, wind will blow the shells a bit.
Pending the situation at the time, what it's doing.
We'll see how things go.
Of course.
If it's doing something for us, then I'll take priority.
Well, yeah,
So will NATO and AAF need to watch the metagaming particularly hard then? Not really. So this is pre tasks. This is pre East Wind campaign in the scope of things. So
We'll talk with
you know, if you've played the campaign, people are gonna know that they're gonna know what, you know, this helmet is. They're gonna know what this is. I blacked out, you know, the CTRG, the NATO symbol a bit. But the point is, this NATO symbol is still somewhat visible. So if the AAF find this, they're gonna start distrusting NATO. But that's why, regardless of what they come up with, and regardless of what they tell me in order to prevent metagaming, the only thing that matters is if they find the waifu lab. So just kidding. I'm going to set, you know, where the story goes. And that's going to be final. So really, the only important cache is this one, because that's the one that'll progress the story. All the other ones are also important, because, for example, this one is... If you look out over here, it's actually, you know, weapons range. And then this has, you know, some short-range stuff there as well. This one is really an ammo cache with some fun stuff. Because of that right there. But, you know, it's got some other things around here. This one is, you know, makes IEDs. That one is, this is just area where they have a lot of their dudes. Each of these positions is where an off-road would go. You know, so, and then this one's my favorite. This is where they turn off-roads into technicals. So, you know, I have the turret up on this. So, it's basically the history of that car I talked about in brief over the past 3 months. So, those positions are vital. The issue is, when you're thinking about the enemy faction, and they've all left this position so I can delete these guys to save frames, you have to consider, when you're making campaigns like this, what does your enemy know? What do the allied forces know? What does each faction know? And the background of this is, we all know by playing East Wind that the FIA is secretly being helped by Miller in the CTRG. So what the point of this campaign is this is supposed to panic CTRG a bit with a lot of the key positions getting hits, which is going to provoke Mission 3. Which is going to just further cause more leaks of, you know, NATO's involvement. But it's not really NATO, it's the CTRG, but CTRG is within NATO. And it's high up to the point, you know, general NATO ground force doesn't know about it. Again, a key aspect of that through evidence, if you play through the campaign, is when Kerry asks about Miller and his commanding officer yells, "I don't want to deal with the British and their Black Ops bullshit." So, you know, there's a lot of secrecy here, and there's been a lot of research done for this campaign, as well as a lot of field research in Greece during my 3-week vacation. So it all ties in for this story, which is basically the history of Task Force Aegis. I think it's going to be good. The op tomorrow is going to be the Area 51 op. If I can finish it, I'm going to postpone the SCP op because I have a lot on my plate in regards to mod set updates and a few other things. So that should be good. It should only be like an hour long, but it's just going to be a fun little meme fest. And Sunday will be continuing Antistasi Zeus World War II stuff, and then the start of the Far Cry 5 campaign for Arma. I'm not going to do a 40k op tomorrow because Bloodwing's back. She flew in yesterday, spent the night at hers. Last night and this morning. It was great. But she wants to go out Saturday. So I usually do the Warhammer 40k thing bi-weekly anyway, so all good. Yeah, leave all the Area 51 memes for tomorrow, because trust me, with what I'm putting in the mod for it, it's gonna be pretty fucking memey. Really, it's gonna have a lot of audio trigger work, but digressing here, they're free to move out whenever. My goal here is, since we're separating the player base in 2 groups, I should be able to help minimize the lag here because it's going to be across the map. So we'll see what the server is capable of handling. So I'm going to go ahead and hide myself. These AOs are light, but if they're within these places, it's, you know, I might throw in some random patrols here and there because of, you know, this is where AAF territory is. Also, like I said, Sirta, if they code to it, it's going to have a bit of an attack that they'll counter. But it's all just trying to line it up for Mission 3. Because, again, this is a 12-mission campaign. And, it is a bit risky for me to drop the CTRG hint immediately. However, there's some red herrings because he's going to try to run down there and there's CSAT gear for scuba diving. But that's the only way to put it on an OP4, dude. So there'll be some interest, and then CSAT will also start taking interest because the only reason CTRG is here is because of CSAT, and CSAT's doing some other nefarious bullshit. So I forgot to tell them that there's a special weapons crate at each of their places that has additional batteries and drone terminals and stuff, but yeah, all of these boxes and all their resupply Vex have spare radios because I know people are probably going to find a way to break them. Have I ever heard of Remy? Yeah, I know Remy. I don't think I've been to a few of his streams. He's raided my channel or hosted mine a few times. I think I returned the favor once. I need to do it again. But yeah, if your follow-up question is, do I ever think about working with them? The answer is going to be no, because Remy works with Digby, and Digby made me make this massive campaign for him, and Digby never used it. And that was the Tier 2 Fallujah campaign with all the different task forces. So I don't really have an interest of working with other people. Which, you know, it's a bit profiling for me to do that, but it's more so I don't really have an interest with working with any high-profile people, period. If I have no guarantee that they're going to use what I make them, because I spend a shit ton of time on it. This is high, send traffic.
Just double checking we're clear to move out.
This is high, both teams were... Yes, you're both clear to move out.
Copy that, thank you.
Let's give them a warm welcome.
I'll lower the sass. To them, because they don't deserve it. I've just been busy today. But, I just, you know... I don't want to make another massive campaign that takes me, you know, 15, 20 hours to draft all the missions, or at least the concepts, and then, you know, make a framework for the mission, make all the loadouts, make all that crazy stuff, because it takes me a long time, and then, you know, for it to be never used, because that's, you know, meh. Is there any VIP that would allow a laptop to be found in the player base takedown of the other caches? Not for this mission, Thunder Buddy. Future missions, yes. There will be some defector stuff on both sides.
It's on our end.
Because you have to remember, in Mission 1, and this is, again, hinted at, I said it very briefly, but Mission 1, when they went to that position up there, I mean, the FIA had the fucking up-to-date intel on the path, and that was only given to, you know, a select few people, so there is a mole somewhere, and we'll be addressing that. But as we get to that part, because that's like the halfway point in the campaign, that's when you're going to see NATO and the AAF, start pulling out their heavy assets. But that's when things are going to start getting a little bumpy. But the whole goal here is the FIA are the main bad guys. There's going to be some side spooky shit, but it's going to 95% be guerrilla war, with a few exceptions that we'll see throughout the campaign. Because you got to remember, Altis is a country because of a coup d'etat, however the fuck you say that, where it's now like a military regime ruling everything, and they separated from Greece, and NATO recognized their independence, which is why NATO's here. The FIA want to reinstall the old government. That's the whole fight here. Now, of course, CTRG isn't interested in that. CTRG is interested in the East Wind device, which we won't really talk about for this campaign, but there will be some hints. Because it's not on Altus yet. But it will be soon. Oh, that's alright. Yeah, I still gotta release all the Contact DLC. So NATO's gonna fucking pull out their A-10. Let's give them a warm welcome, shall we? And the AAF are sending an air wing down. Where are they going? I think they're heading south and they're swinging left. Down to LZ Hydration. Interesting. Yep, so they're gonna do a force split.
Tornado, be advised, we're going to be crossing your airspace just to the northwest of you. Copy.
So operations are beginning. Ruling Commander's taking off in a jet. That is going to be, looks like, all the CAS that both sides are going to get. Then again, the AAF have armed Wildcat helicopters, so should be fine, and they have guns on both of those Vics, so excuse me, hiccup. We'll see how this goes. But with this, I'm going to have to be managing up to 2 AOs at once, so you're going to see me jumping back and forth here. But I will have things quick on the trigger here. And let me now... Ironically, this is going to be an objective in a future mission, but I'll use that to listen to both AOs on 50. This looks like the Mohawk is actually towing a vehicle, so they are going to use ground command team, ground crew teams for local fire support. It's their call. But I will say that they can overpower this mission a bit because the AT that the AAF or the FIA have, at least till the next mission, sucks. So eventually, could this turn into a PvP campaign? It's going to entirely depend, honestly, with what happens with this laptop. That's gonna stem it. I can say with a very high likelihood, if this, depending on who captures that laptop, and if both factions know about it, or basically if the AAF get that laptop and don't tell NATO about it, yeah, there's going to be a high degree of PvP in the last mission. If not, if NATO captures it and doesn't tell the AAF about it, then it's very, very unlikely. But there's a second thing with the NATO symbol in a future mission that will also do stuff. Because if AAF get that, that's going to have CSAT brought in a little bit earlier in the campaign. But if not, then yeah, we'll see how it goes. But the last mission, regardless of what happens, there is going to be a chance for PvP. And it's going to really just depend on positions of people. Don't know why they pinned me there. But I'm hearing LR bloops, so I think that's just people calling over short ranges on 50, but I can just hear the clicks still. But regardless, they have to be careful in this room because there are live explosives in here, so if boom booms go off, something might explode. And that's gonna be bad. So they're getting a drone up. So you can barely hear that over the wind, but when it's barely, I generally don't count it. I hope Sleeger isn't a pilot. Wonder where they're gonna bring that Vic. Regardless, we'll see how this all plays. Well, again, they don't... I just said possible cache because that's where stopping points were. In all honesty, I think only 2 of the points are real caches of munitions. The other ones are just other positions to note. Alright, so I'm gonna... spawn a hostile team, start having it head to over there. Staying in enemy territory. That'll be interesting. I want to see... This is bait. This is sheer fucking bait. Because this... With the... Fuck. Stay upright, you stupid fucker. X usually flips it on spot, so I don't know why it's still bouncing. Alright, you're getting a delete. Are you fucking kidding me? Face that. That. There we go. Alright. Good thing I checked that. If AAF find that too, they're also going to grow suspicious of stuff, because that's pretty advanced tech, but they're not... Again, everything is dependent. There's a few key factors here that I don't want to say over stream too much. But everything's important. Yeah, Arma physics, right? Please don't bring up other streamers streaming in my chat. It's considered poaching. I don't like that. You know, I only spend, what, 50 hours a week on this shit? Heck, I was looking at it. Yeah, so they're just reconning this out. I got a lot of it hidden here, but there's clearly something going on. These guys might run up here. This will be an interesting firefight, because these guys were meant to be like an ambush force, but they're going to end up shooting them, so... That'll be strange. And I might even see that cache. But yeah, if they're being heavy on AA, I'll be sending reinforcements from hostile territory. So I am going to, let's see. Well, I wouldn't really call it a job. Not yet. I don't make the money for it to, call it a job. It does pay for everything, but, you know, a job you get savings and shit too, and benefits. Let me 1 second. It's just, with all the time you put in... Should be the right guy. Yeah, I don't have a symbol yet. Because, you know, behind the scenes, it's... Because I run... Or, I guess, help run TSB, so one of the 5s. I make sure the servers are up to date, make sure the mods are up to date, with a team of people, of course. Edit mod sets, deal with administrative bullshit, which, you know, sometimes I don't have any, sometimes there's a lot. Make mission files, test mission files. Honestly, the making and testing are probably the biggest 2 chunks I put into time, with the third being editing videos. Coordinating with editors for the new Liru Shenanigans channel. Streaming the Zeus op. Streaming on the ground stuff. Building concepts for new campaigns. Remembering to eat something every day. That doesn't count, but you know, there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. And what you guys see is only about up to 20% of it at times, because there's definitely a lot of work I do that I don't stream because, you know, I want it to be a surprise. Or I just want to listen to copyrighted music that would get me in trouble on Twitch or YouTube if I were to stream or publish it. And sometimes TS Brexit happens. Yep. That's okay. That should be the last one. This is actually going to be really funny, because if they just have 2 people run up ahead, they're gonna... I'm gonna try to fuck them. So if they're on yelling, we'll see what happens. Yeah, we had a few higher ups leave, make their own community, and try to poach people, and that was fun to deal with. But that's enough of that. Every community goes through something like that, where, you know, some people get unhappy with whatever the people in charge are doing, even though they had full power. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting into it. Shit happens. Just gotta work with it. But, you know, TSB, we're a casual community, so if you want something changed, you can just talk to us, you know? I always reply on Discord to people within at least, I want to say 36 hours. Because usually there's some stuff, like, for example, someone sent me something and I haven't responded to it because it's big, and I'm really busy right now. They might. But, you know, if I read something and then I have a bunch of other shit to do, I'm going to forget about it. I'm just waiting to see if there's aggro. If this guy aggroes, I will bring it. But I didn't hear any local chatter. This is going to be really funny if the entire group moves up here and then they get ambushed from the rear when the gunfight starts. That would be pretty funny. Alright, plane's way above. But yeah, a lot of this is just hitting a bunch of AOs. Oh my god, do they actually have a wedge going? Somewhat. It's rare to see formations in TSB. But the squads that do them actually do perform better than the squads that don't. Well, in any community you go to, there will always be drama. But, you know, schisms happen once in a while, but... screw it. So this is why they marked Dino, because Dino's gonna be their staging point to shoot stuff. That was Malin. There was a guy that left that didn't... Yeah, it was Lolo. He's back, though, so we'll see if he requests a TP. TP back to Malin, which... Why? Ah, fuck. Hold up. Sorry. Teleport, Malin, Lolo. I have it set on my monitors, so I have to go, like, in the top right corner of my monitor to get to my other one, and still once in a blue moon, I... still click out. You know, because I like to do this, but it's that corner that makes my mouse disappear. I haven't done that in a very long time. Oh yeah, no, server's full, Broadshore. Full 60 slots here. There's no one waiting in Ox, but I'm gonna be honest, nowadays most ground commands don't pull new people, and also with the style of missions we're doing, at least for this campaign, it's not really meant for people to JIP, so... You know. Have this guy go look at that helicopter. grab that guy too, because if he hovers, I'm gonna take a pot shot at him. But now it looks like he's falling back. He was just turning around. So I'm loading these guys. Those will be my copy-paste baits. Send them to careless hold fire. Yeah, so they heard a helicopter. This guy saw it. Yeah, he got his binocs out to look for it, and he repositioned his guys. And that main force is pulling up. Here, I'm gonna take Fudgehead here. Well, that happened. All right. There's an air threat in the AO, so let's... Ooh, that could have been bad if I seed that. Just gonna bring AA up. I'm gonna pull him back. Fucking airstrike happened. It's gonna ditch. TP to Skelly. Skelly, I believe, is NATO ground command. Um... Get these guys along, Ridge Boy. TP him to Sirda, that would be Giants. Let me just confirm here, Giant. Okay, teleport. Go ahead, get those dudes up. It's not I'm sending them on top, I'm sending them, this was literally the hill where I planned for them to be on, so, yeah. Yeah, these guys are gonna disperse. Oh, yeah, so the explosives in there blew up. But yeah, if you're gonna airstrike it first before you move in, they're just gonna scatter. Alright, dealing with a few things there. Some guerrilla warfare never hurt anyone. And let's see, I'm going to sneak an additional squad from the south because these are the guys that were in that house that are currently baiting. So we'll send them up through that. I'll see if I can RC that guy as they get a bit closer. Checking back on Blue 4.
5-0 check.
Last call, second check. Gonna have these guys get in bushes and then despawn them. Because they're just trying to hide. Actually, I've got the frames to keep them. Shit, they breached that guy. That one went way over. So let's give him a warm welcome shot. Whew, that's the Knicks they brought up.
Go ahead for AF.
Attention, cash cleared. ×1.
Copy that, thank you.
Stand these guys up. If they see any air, I'm gonna have them dunk them. Otherwise, these guys looks like they were dropped off over there because they're gonna start staging to get the other objectives. Liru cash in. I didn't do anything? Okay, yeah, I'll take credit for that, sure. Yeah. Yeah, those guys ran off. They just have AA down there for now. Here, do I got anything cool to fight these guys? Throw those over real quick. Those guys are moving towards the stop point. Cash is right there. Otherwise, these guys committing to Overwatch, flying over those AOs. Alright. So I'm gonna start making this fancy little AO here. I'm doing this because that drone's gonna
To AAF.
limit me a little bit.
Go for AAF.
Did you fire any artillery shells? Ready to
Negative, we do not have artillery.
Affirm.
Speaking of which, I think it's time to bring this attack in. And let's see.
Copy. White smoke mark enemy. White smoke mark enemy.
Sorry, did someone call for AAF?
Alright, that should be well timed. That area is cleared out. But I am going to fuck that position. Drone is actually going south now. And these fire teams are some special boy teams. They have some better guns right now. But no better AT. Alrighty. Did say whoever gets here is gonna have to deal with the counterattack. So Grant's just gonna drop a bomb. Oh, because it shot down all of those guys. And there's the bomb. Yep, so they're all gonna respawn. You can hear the shockwave. But let's see, these guys still countering this position. Yeah, he's not gonna meta and set it to a timer, so... I just heard those footsteps, though. Yeah, I heard that.
I have in mind.
I just heard that locally. You can, if you remote in like that, you can hear them locally. So NATO just ditched the Sirda outpost. Huh. Alright, I wonder if they're gonna call that in. Because otherwise we're going to make off with some of this shit. We're going to make off with the supplies. That could get ugly. I could get an extra Gorgon. Granite got shot down. I don't know to what. I think he crashed. Because I have nothing in this AO that could take him out. And it looks like that bomb finally touched off. Bad time to reload for you, bud. Yep, so QRF coming in. At this point, this guy's gonna want to go in the gunner seat here. Up there. All forces, this is High Command. Be advised, the outpost in Sirta is under attack at this time. How copy?
Copies.
Native copies.
At this point, someone should radio that in, right?
AAF can task Cass over there if needed, or potentially mobilize a squad.
Alright. Naval simulation, no. He's gonna get shot. Yeah, I think it was Granite losing connection, so... Cool. Let's give him a warm welcome, shall we? Do 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 do.
Alright, NATO and High, be advised I'm tasking one squad and a Wildcat to help with the Sirta base as soon as we can.
NATO to AAF, be advised, we've already tasked the squad over there. So if you'd like to continue on that, otherwise you can head up to assist. This might be splitting the forces too much on your end.
Be advised, we have more squads than you. We'll be fine.
Well, that happened. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Oof to that. Let's land in front of the vehicle with the rocket launcher, shall we? So what is this, like a full squad of NATO gear?
NATO AAF Hellcat is one click out from Sirta base.
Gonna have to ditch that. Are you done being retarded? Ouch. That would be, yeah, rulings. Thingamajig. Fire at will. Ammunition was grabbed. Alright, looking at the maps here. Looks like that IED went off. But the remote designator was still there. We got a wounded man right there. Otherwise, everything is going according to plan. All those things we can delete. That area we can definitely delete.
Alright, Iceberg, we're gonna have to do a... Oh no, my bad.
Well, fuck, ruling. Okay, you can just, like, blow my Vic. Ah, that fucking A10, man, I swear to God. So I got a supply of NATO and AAF shit. I didn't get the Gorgon out, unfortunately, because it was being retarded, but I didn't also get those bodies, because, well, the Vic that would have had them died, but I'm gonna have to make some NATO teams now, but only like a squad or two, max, and I've got to figure out where I want to factor them in. So meanwhile, these guys, looks like they're loading that truck up, and they're going to pour down.
NATO, this is AAF Hellcat relaying for ground. NATO AAF ground forces now in the compound. Please watch A10 strikes now.
Roger.
So we'll be able to get this re-garrisoned, but yeah. Where the fuck are you idiots going, and why do you keep setting yourselves to defend only? Why are you running back? The whole point of running away is to run away from the people fighting.
AF ground, this is NATO air, do you read?
So let's see, we're about an hour in. Howdy now.
AF ground, NATO air, we've got one of your birds overhead in Sierra. We just want to let you know that the area is currently very hot.
NATO air, this is said bird, I'm aware.
Roger that. On another note, I had one of your Zamex. One of your Zamex has fled north, way deep into enemy territory. Looks like it's heading up the side already.
What did they bring in? Ah, the Marshal. They drove that around, that's it. So yeah, that was from the base. But that got stolen. Yeah, so now I do need to spawn some AA defense teams here, because they could try to track their Vix. Because this is where things can get very, very messy. Because they're going into hostile territory. Speaking of which...
Hey, firm, I didn't